The ballet mom blocked me from reaching my screaming injured daughter, then told the cop I grabbed her child. When I begged her to stop lying, she tilted her head and said, "Sometimes you have to exaggerate to protect kids." I stayed silent. That was 6 months ago. Last week, she walked into court, heard her own voice on a recording, and couldn't speak for the rest of the day. They called the cops on me and claimed I was creeping on their little girls. You see, my daughter decided to try ballet 6 months ago, and with my wife being deployed overseas, I was the one to bring her to the academy. The first time we went, I felt eyes on me like never before. I was the only dad there, and within seconds heard whispers about how I was potentially dangerous. During the lesson, a mom approached me. No introduction, no hi hello, just, "It's strange that a man wants to be here surrounded by little girls." I immediately understood why the other dads waited in the parking lot. I tried to tell her I was just here to watch my daughter. But how can we be sure? The women here, we don't feel safe with you watching. I felt my blood boiling. But getting in an argument on day one might lead to my daughter getting kicked out. So I gave a sarcastic sure and moved to the corner where I could barely see the practice floor. But that wasn't enough. "That's exactly the angle a creep would pick," a different woman said during my daughter's second practice. I tried to just ignore them this time, but she literally paused the entire rehearsal. She stood up, waved her hand, and started shouting, "Excuse me," in that signature pitch-perfect Karen tone. The instructor walked over. "I saw him recording our daughters," the woman pointed at me. I literally did a double take. My phone is one of those Nokia bricks that takes 240p photos at sloth speed, and it was in my pocket the whole time. I pulled out my Nokia brick to show the instructor, but she didn't even look at it. She outright said, "What's important is not whether or not I actually did it." Sorry, ma'am. What? But that these women clearly feel unsafe with me being here. She told me I would have to wait somewhere else during practices, or she'd have to call the police for recording minors. I remember looking over and seeing my daughter go red. I was so embarrassed for putting her through this. Part of me contemplated just crashing out, but then I'd look insane. And because my daughter's dreams mattered more than anything, and the nearest other academy was 2 hours away, I complied. For weeks, I sat upstairs in the ballet history room where I couldn't see the practice floor. I could have waited in my car, but I wanted to be there so if anything went wrong, I could at least hear it, and then it did. It was 65 minutes into the session when I heard this loud crack followed by a scream, my daughter's scream. This wasn't a normal kid cry either, the kind of cry that makes any parent's stomach drop and face go pale. I flew down those stairs quicker than I thought possible. Then I saw my daughter, on the floor, crying in pain, her ankle bent the wrong way at a 90-degree angle, screaming hoarse. That's when I did what got me into this whole mess. I rushed over to help my daughter, or at least tried, because 3 moms literally formed a wall at the dance floor entrance. "We're sorry about your daughter, but we're not letting a creep near our children." I wasn't even listening to them this time, just pushed past them. Not hard, just enough to get through. The gasps from everyone were theatrical. I dropped beside my daughter. I started examining her ankle, keeping her still, calling 911. She was begging me to make the pain stop. I heard the moms actually yelling at the instructor telling them to get this creep off the floor and threatening to pull their daughters out. Then this little girl, maybe 7, walked over and knelt down. She wiped my daughter's tears. From what I knew, this girl was her best friend here. I touched the girl's shoulder and said, "Thank you, sweetheart." The moms lost their minds immediately. More gasps, whispers. Then I heard one of them. 911? Yes, we have an emergency. Still, I was too preoccupied to care. The ambulance and police arrived at the same time, 10 minutes later. I was climbing into the ambulance with my daughter when an officer tapped my shoulder from behind. The moms were all screaming over each other. "He's a creep! He just assaulted me. He's been recording our daughters for weeks. He just grabbed that little girl." My daughter yelled at everyone, "My daddy is innocent!" But no one listened. I took her hand and told her I'd be right there with her. She nodded and wiped her tears.